Right, okay, we're going to take a look at the HUI index again. We did this a few days ago, and this sort of critical point, I think it's worth doing it again. We're looking at the HUI index itself here, and you can see that it's in an arc formation with a bullish expanding descending wedge, which we've had identified for a while now, just waiting to see where the edge of the arc decides to land. And it's looking quite likely, I suppose, for a number of reasons, that we've hit an arc edge here and are going to break to the upside. The upside breakout will be confirmed with the weekly close being above approximately where we are now, actually. So anything above about 280 to 285, I think, will give us that breakout this week. And certainly if we get anywhere approaching sort of 290, then that is likely to confirm the breakout. So that's the index as a whole, and we're going to go through them one by one. We've got gold fields here, and the indicator on the bottom is the Mansfield relative strength, and it's comparing the stock to the rest of the HUI index. If the black line is rising, it's outperforming. If you get this green shading, it's also above a rising 30-week moving average, and it is, as you can see here, it is above a rising 30-week moving average, and it is outperforming the rest of the HUI index. So this is strong in terms of the rest of the index. Augusta Gold, I mentioned on the last podcast on the HUI that this is definitely best avoided until it does something to technically prove that it's turning bullish again. You could try and catch a falling knife here, but you really need to be getting back above the 30-week moving average before starting to look at this one. And also there's a descending trend line in there, which you also want to draw in, and certainly at the very least a break above that descending trend line. I mean, I suppose it could get quite exciting if it was to suddenly break out and hit this vacuum area here. So you've got a very large gap in this zone here, and quite often when you hit a gap like that, it kind of vacuums all the way up to towards the top there. So it's going to be quite exciting to see where that goes and what it does. But for the time being, I would probably stay away from that one. It's not outperforming at the moment. New Gold is outperforming. It's the black line is above the zero line, so it is outperforming, and we've got the green shading to show it's above a rising 30-week moving average. So this could well be trending towards the big breakout that this chart is kind of trending towards, which is a break above the resistance line somewhere near $4. So we've got Barrick Gold in here as well, one of the big boys, of course, and its measured move takes it close to, or actually to, those previous highs at around about $55, $56. We've seen this breakout, and what we can do is track it as we go forwards, but we're above a rising 30-week moving average, and it's outperforming because the black line here is above the zero line. Okay, Alamos Gold is not above the zero line, so it's not outperforming the HUI index, and it doesn't have the green shading, so it's not above a rising 30-week moving average. So next, Newmont is above a rising 30-week moving average. It has the black line above this zero line, so it is outperforming, and it's been consolidating in a red box close to a very, very important breakout line that goes back to the 1980s. And the reason I've drawn that line there, by the way, is on the monthly and quarterly charts. So it does appear as though these candles go above the line, but it's a much better fit on the monthly and quarterly chart, of course. So consolidation at or just below the crucial breakout line, which is what Heckler is doing, by the way, at the moment. Heckler isn't in this list, but the Heckler resistance line goes back 50 years. So incredible historic moment if and when these break out to the upside. Iamgold is breaking out, or has broken out of this bullish expanding descending wedge. The MRS trend indicator, which compares the stock to the rest of the HUI index, is above the zero line, so it's outperforming, and the green shading shows that we're above a rising 30-week moving average. So ticking all the boxes there and looking strong going forwards. Anglo Gold, again, above a rising 30-week moving average. The MRS trend indicator is above the zero line. It's broken out here, so all looking good. That's performing strongly. Dorado Gold, this one we put into the trade tracker for various reasons. It's broken out of a bullish descending wedge. It's above a rising 30-week moving average. It's a large cap company, of course. I think it's was it a couple of billion, 2.6 billion is the market cap on this one. And the MRS trend indicator, of course, is above the zero line. So it's all looking promising on this one. It's also just sneaking up through a fairly important horizontal resistance line. Kinross is not outperforming the HUI at the moment, and it's below a declining 30-week moving average. So we'll move on to the next one. Harmony is in the same position. It's below a declining 30-week moving average, albeit it's actually started to level off now. In fact, I stand corrected. It's above the 30-week moving average, but it's not turned up yet, which is why we haven't got the green shading. So it is actually above the 30-week moving average. As soon as that turns up a little bit more, we'll get the green shading on there. And I'd suggest that when we break out of this bullish descending wedge, we're going to see this MRS trend indicator start to turn up as well. But of course, they can't all outperform. Doesn't mean to say that it won't do very well, of course. Yamana is outperforming. It's above the rising 30-week moving average. It's broken out and it's above the zero. So that's why this one also got added to the trade tracker. When Aventura Mining Company is above a rising 30-week moving average and the MRS trend indicator has turned up, so this one is performing strongly, and we'll see what happens when it hits the upper resistance line somewhere near $12.50. Agnico Eagle is not outperforming. The MRS trend indicator is below zero, so it's not outperforming the HUI index, and currently is a little bit below a declining 30-week moving average. So we won't look at that one any further for the time being. So that's it. That's the HUI index constituents covered in the latest podcast there, and hope you enjoyed that. More to come, of course, as things develop. Bye for now.